Remember how I told you about my gift for you? Well, I confess I haven't been completely honest with you, my love. After that girl tossed the box in, so carelessly, she turned to leave. It took her long enough. It was almost time for you to get back. So, I rushed over once she was out of sight and placed my gifts inside. I made sure to make it look absolutely perfect. When I turned to leave, I made my way to the other end of the hall, only to see the same girl from before. I watched her, thinking that she'd better not have touched my presents. She must have forgotten something. So she came back to your locker, grumbling and digging through her purse like she couldn't find whatever she left. When she opened it, she just stared for a moment. I hid behind the other lockers before she could see me. And when I peeked back around, I saw her pulling out a small ring she must have dropped before she threw her chocolates in. And then she grabbed my gift and suddenly started removing my name from them. Probably writing her own instead, of course. Mine were clearly far better. What a selfish little prick. Trying to take credit for my work. I started to walk out to confront her, but you rounded the corner at the other end of the hall, and I jumped back. I could hardly hear what the two of you were saying, but I could almost feel my own mind snapping, and my heart was shattering into a million pieces. I tried to avoid the tears that blurred my vision. I tried to hold my breath to keep from crying out loud. So when I wiped away my tears, I saw you opening my letter, my gifts, yet falling for her instead. She'll pay for this. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have to resort to drastic measures. But surely someone so selfish doesn't deserve to exist and take up your precious time, does she? By the end of that day, the whole school knew you two were together. I had to get rid of her. I had a class with her at the end of the day, and by some stroke of luck we're the first two in the room. She so stupidly leaves her stuff, including her half-emptied water bottle, sitting there before running out of the room trying to get a better signal on her phone or something. Before the class began, I knew I had to hurry. I slipped something special in that bottle. I mixed it up the best I could, placed it back on her desk, and went back to my seat. She drank all of it by the time class was over, and she ran to the restroom as the effects started to kick in. She always walks home, so she wasn't concerned about missing a ride or anything. It took her a couple hours, and everyone else was long gone. So, I waited outside her stall patiently. Truly, I love you more than anything in the world. The thought of earning your love overwhelms me before any feeling of boredom can set in. Truly, there are no limits to what I would do for your sake. Here I am, after all, ready to do whatever is necessary to get this thing away from you. She remembered me right away, questioning why I was there, and even jokes that I must be upset about her stealing you. Oh, honey, you stole nothing. Because I'll have him back once you're out of the way. I tried being nice. Really, I really tried. Maybe talking to her. I would only threaten her if she wouldn't listen. And eventually she hit me and told me to get out of her way. I'm not the one getting in the way here. That's what I told her. And that this was her own fault for being unreasonable. It's a good thing she hit me so hard. If there's a mark, perhaps I could convince the police this was in self-defense. If I can manage to cover it up first. I had pulled a blade I had hidden in my skirt, and I watched her eyes grow wide. And she tried to pull out her cell phone to call the police. What a stupid mistake. All it took was a simple slash across her neck, and she dropped the phone while collapsing on her back. Her eyes wide, and she clutches at her throat. A look of disbelief on that shallow, pretty on the outside only face. But at that time I didn't cut deep enough. I was about to finish what I had started when I heard your voice behind me. You must have been waiting for her and got there. You were worried. Really. Couldn't you have chosen a better time? Still, I couldn't get mad at you, even when you screamed in terror. Call me crazy or a psycho and run off to get help. I got a glimpse of myself in the mirror. Wide, empty, soulless eyes. I suppose it implies I'm no longer in control of my own body, as this insanity takes over. A fake smile that's been forced for far too long, that it's so painful to even look at. With this messy hair I couldn't be bothered to fix. Of course you mistakenly think I'm just a psycho based on appearance in this situation. If only you knew. I just wanted to be with you. None of this would have happened if you acknowledged me. I chased after you, remember? Practically skipping as I realized this means we're finally alone together. And, I would sing your name as I followed you. I thought you would like that, but you just kept running. Still, I didn't give up. The distance between us started to close, and you tripped on some books or something, so wonderfully careless idiot left sprawled out on the floor. I know now I should try to explain that I did it only because I love you. Meeting you was the best thing that ever happened to me. She was the main obstacle in our love. Maybe it's selfish, yes, but this love is all I have. All that matters to me. I can't just let her ruin my only reason to live. You deserve far better than her anyway. She only thinks you look attractive, but my love for you is so strong. Why couldn't you see it before? Really, I love you. I really do. What's with that look? Why can't you believe me? I would do anything for you. If you really hate me this much, I'll end myself right here and now. I'll be rid of you quickly, so we can be together in this afterlife. Wouldn't that be romantic? How can you hurt me like this? Why must you make everything so difficult? I'll still follow you. I'll never give up. Just try to hide. I'll find you. I promise I'll be right behind you. I'll catch up no matter where you go. You were still running. Remember how, after you tripped, you still got back up? Well, I let you. You got up and rounded the corner, and I heard the door close. It was in your homeroom. So many pleasant memories of watching and recording you. The teacher must have forgotten to lock the door, and you were trying to hide in there, right? You shouldn't have even bothered. I knew you were in there. When I turned the knob, I found it was stuck. But that was no matter. All those times, sneaking into your house, I found a way to drop a few locks. I hadn't practiced, though, since I had gotten a copy of your keys, so my lock-picking skills were a bit rusty. Still, I was patient. There were windows, but that was on the top floor, so you couldn't jump without killing yourself. And if you did, I'd go with you. And in those last moments, finally, just after a couple minutes, the door clicked open. But you weren't even hiding. You were crouched over the recycling bin, holding the note I wrote to you in one hand and something in the other. When I got closer, I saw that it was an old worksheet I had tossed. You must have realized that the handwriting was the same, no? It must have been an act of fate that you saw it before finding a place to hide. Or maybe you were trying to hide under the papers in there? I don't know. But I had put my knife away, since you weren't running anymore, and knelt beside you. How both of our eyes were filled with tears. That was truly the best moment in my life. Finally, you recognized me. This short was written by GlitterMangle.